the scam out there is people telling you, yeah, post at 3 p.m. and you get the best engagement. That is a lie. Hey guys, it's Whitney MADUEKE. Welcome back to my channel. With Influence is where I share everything on being an influencer and content creator. Today's really exciting. I'm going to be answering the question, when is the best time to post? I know you're out there reading a ton of articles and you're still wondering when is the best time. Well, today I'm going to answer that question for you. When is the best time to post? Now, the problem that brings this question up is just figuring out when will my post do well, or why aren't my followers liking my post, or just plainly when will I get the best engagement or interest from my followers. Now, I just want to say there is no straight answer to this question. You actually have to put in the work to figure out the best time for you. And reading a ton of articles, yes, they might be insightful, but they actually don't answer the question for you, because we all have different followers, we all have different things that we share online, and that actually affects when the best time is to post certain content. So really, you have to make sure you're applying what I'm sharing in this video to you and figure that out yourself, and you have to test out different times as well so that you are on the right track to figuring out the best time to post. So now I'm going to answer this question and really give you that insight that has helped me along the way. The first tip is figuring out the platform that you're on and your followers, and understanding how the two actually work together. I honestly like to say your followers kind of determine the best time, and this is because you want to post when they are awake or at least more active on the platform. With Instagram, it's easier to just find out when you look at analytics. With YouTube, you really want to play around, and I think one thing that you can always do to optimize knowing the best time to post on a platform like YouTube is just asking a question to your followers, like, when would you guys like me to post? So you're figuring out the best time that you would like, but you're also pushing out that question to them, like, hey, do you guys like when I post videos at 12 p.m. or at 6 p.m. on a Saturday? And narrowing that down to them allows you to have an answer that you can actually test out. So by the time you've asked them, and they say 6 p.m., you can try out 6 p.m. and figure out, oh yeah, this gave me an amazing amount of interaction than when I actually would post at 12 p.m. So you want to ask to find out. But primarily, the platform you're on definitely helps a lot, and you want to play around with the different times that you're comfortable with to actually understand what works best for you. In understanding the platform and your followers, you also want to think about the ideal time to post, and this takes me to that second point. When you're thinking of your followers, you're actually thinking of them as people, and when you narrow it down to the types of people that follow you, it actually helps you to understand that platform and the best time to post. So when I think of YouTube, I'm thinking of, my followers who are between the ages of, let's say, 25 to 34. And when I think of those people, I think of working class people. So I know the best time to post would be just before lunchtime, or, later in the day after work. You want to think of, that platform and the people that follow you in that light, because that way it helps you. When I think of TikTok, I am thinking of, okay, TikTok primarily has young kids. They're going to school. So figuring out the best time to post would be maybe super early in the morning, maybe during lunchtime, and then, after school, maybe 4 p.m. or even much later at night, even at 12 a.m. in the morning. So you really want to think about that platform and understand the people that are on that platform that follow you. When you think of Instagram, you're thinking of, people at that work desk and they like to scroll. Most times, they would probably be doing that early in the morning on their way to work, or even when they're at work, just to get into the mood of work. They might spend like a few minutes just scrolling through before they actually start their day at work. And you're also thinking of lunchtime, like 12 p.m. and you're thinking of after work, which is like 6 p.m., 7 p.m. And you really want to play around with these times. You want to think of the people figure out the ideal time that fits you as well as them, and play around with the time, because no one can answer this question. And I think the scam out there is people telling you, yeah, post at 3 p.m. and you get the best engagement. That is a lie. Let me just tell you guys now. That is not how it works. You have to figure out the best time that works for you and your followers. And that's why it takes a bit of time. And this is not something, I'm not here to tell you post at 3 p.m. and you'll succeed. I'm here to tell you, look at your followers, understand them. I want a situation where I'm giving you information that you can apply in different ways. I'm not giving you information where it's like, yeah, post at 3 p.m. and you're good for the rest of your life. Tomorrow things might change. You know, as you grow on a platform, you're attracting new followers, you're keeping new followers, and so it's so important to understand when is the best time to post for your current followers. And that takes a lot of work. You have to constantly be looking at it and to understand when a post is doing well and when it's not doing well, and figuring out, oh, was it the time I posted? And you know, it's really a lot of work. You know, when you think of being on a social media platform, you have to be active if you want to stay on top. You can't just sleep about it and think, yeah, I'll post at 3 a.m. surely my followers will see. Who knows? With thinking of the ideal time, it's amazing when you think of human activity. Like, you know, even you yourself, you're someone that works a 9 to 5. When do you find yourself scrolling on Instagram the most? You know, when do you find your own time to actually post something? And in thinking of the best time to post, you want to work towards the best time that your followers engage, but you also want to work with something that you can maintain. Remember how we spoke about consistency in the previous video, and I want you guys to check it out up here. I share amazing tips on how to be consistent. And in creating that strategy plan, in creating that content plan, which we've spoken about, I'll link it up here as well. It's so important to understand what can you actually maintain so that you're also consistent. And you know, it's really helpful when you think about that ideal time to post. The third point is to study your analytics. This is the key to understanding the best time to post for you, just because, you know, it's really there to give you that guide, like, okay, these are your followers, this is where they are, most of them are, and these are the times that are most active on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. And so to find out what your analytics is, you have analytics for YouTube is in your creator studio, analytics for Instagram is insights, and analytics for TikTok is analytics. And it's just, you know, you going in there and studying it daily, weekly, monthly to kind of figure out, okay, I see my followers are most active on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and they are most active at a time of like 12 p.m. or 7 p.m. or even midnight. And it's you figuring out, do I like these times for myself? Can I keep up to that? Is that too much for me? And kind of finding the middle ground. Now, analytics, they are everything to understanding who follows you, how they engage with your content. And this really helps you to answer that question of when is the best time to post. So you can't actually just go on an article and see 7 p.m. and just run to your page to post 7 p.m. Like if your followers are in a certain country, maybe 7 p.m. is like midnight for that country. So you kind of always have to think about it and think of the people that follow you. And that is really key. I remember when I was back in Nigeria, I would post 6 p.m. Nigerian time because I had a lot of Nigerian followers, and that would work. Now that I'm in New York, I had to change it. I had to figure out what time can I actually keep up with and what is the best time, especially because my followers grew and it, you know, my majority now stays in the US. So it's really important to understand like your analytics. It's so key to understand the people that follow you, how they engage with you and your content. And that is definitely one major thing that answers the question of when is the best time to post for you. Now I'm going to talk about the fourth point, and in thinking of the platforms that your followers on, the ideal times based on human activity and your analytics, my fourth point is to also consider you. When is the best time to post for you? And this is the key, because even if your followers are active at 7 p.m, that doesn't mean 7 p.m. you're available to post. Maybe you'll be at work and you can't pick up your phone to post. So it's obviously, you know, figuring out when can I actually post and keeping up with that. And you know, when you think of the best time to post, you need to think of you. This is so important because yes, you're looking at your analytics, but you also want to post when you can be constantly consistent. Now, you don't want to give yourself 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. is when you're driving home. Are you gonna stop on the road to post an Instagram picture? That doesn't make sense. So you have to figure out when is the best time that I can actually consistently post. And you know, with the way social media works, yes, you might post at 7 p.m. That doesn't mean your followers would see it till maybe about 9 p.m. That's because algorithms work based on your followers and how they engage with your post. So it's also so important to understand that you posting at 7 p.m. doesn't necessarily mean the whole world or your entire followers will see it. Sometimes I see some people's post 2 days later after they've posted it. Sometimes, you know, my favorite YouTuber posts something at 7 p.m. and I'm too exhausted to watch it, so instead I'll watch it on a Saturday when I have time. So you want to think of yourself as well. You just don't want to think of other people, you know, and go with whatever time that they want you to post. You have to think of yourself and what you can consistently put up with, because remember I told you in the previous video about consistency, your own level of consistency is consistency. If posting every Monday is your own time to post, as long as you can keep that up consistently, that is great. But if you're following your followers to post when they want, like, Whitney, we want videos every Tuesday at 12 p.m. and you know, at first you start off with 12 p.m. on a Tuesday and you figure out, I can't handle this, then you need to actually think of yourself. It's so much better to post at a time that you can consistently keep track of, and that actually trains your followers on when to expect your content, or at least it trains them to engage with your content. And that is the most important thing, because when you think about consistency, you're thinking about your followers and training them to remember that you post every Monday, or training them to remember that, oh yeah, Whitney, she exists. Where is she? I haven't seen her content. And that's the kind of thing you want to create with your followers. And so it's so important that as you're figuring out the best time to post, you're also thinking of yourself and what you can actually keep up with. And one vital point to thinking of the best time to post is to understand that consistency really builds your social media presence. And that's why I keep saying it, like, you have to be consistent with whatever time you pick, with whatever schedule you're on, with whatever content plan that you build, because really that is the magnet to engaging with your followers, to that growth. And for me, I have my set times, and yes, I can be flexible. Like today I'm filming a video, I don't have the time to post a video on Instagram or to post a picture on Instagram, but I'll still try to post today. And you know, it's okay if you can't meet these set times that you give yourself. You have to be flexible to understand, like, this is something that will come as a habit with time, so don't be too hard on yourself. My thoughts on resources that actually try to answer this question: yes, they give you those set times, you can play around with it, but I think it's so important for you as an individual to understand that the best time to post is based on you, your audience, and your content, and even the platform that you're posting this content on. And you really have to play around with the times. When I first started on TikTok, I was posting at times I was comfortable with, you know, and it really helped me to understand, like, okay, these are the times I can actually post, and these are the times that I've tried and they actually work great for my content. And even now, with the set times that I have, I've also expanded those times so that I'm more flexible with how much more demanding my life is, with different things, different projects that I'm picking up. So before, you know, even if I had this set time of, let's say, 10 a.m, now as responsibilities are growing, I see that 10 a.m I cannot always meet 10 a.m. So instead, I'm trying to train my audience to understand, like, okay, I'm gonna be posting at, let's say, 7 p.m. now. And it's so important for you to do that. When you do set that, you know, ideal time for yourself, you're training yourself, you're training your audience and that platform that you're on to understand, like, this is your consistency and everyone needs to be alert. And that has really helped me a lot. So these articles, they are great, but I will say do not rely on them fully. Rely on yourself, on your content, on your analytics to really understand the best time for you. My final tip that really goes back to the video on consistency is when you do find out the best time to post for yourself, one thing I will say is to set alarms, reminders, write it down on your to-do list every day till it becomes a habit, so you do understand, like, yes, 3 p.m. I'm posting. And you know, when you think of your content plan, it actually helps you to meet that post time, because if you have a content plan, you have things lined up and you can always think ahead of, oh yeah, I have to post at 3 p.m. what content did I create the other day that I can actually post today. So it's so important, like when you think of the best time, it really boils down to that consistency, that content plan, that strategy that you have, and those all combine together to give you the best. And let me just say, it takes time to train your audience. It takes time to be consistent on a certain time and actually see results. I remember when I would set my post times for 12 p.m. it wasn't like no one was liking it as much, but I stayed on that time, and with consistency my engagement at 12 p.m. increased. So it's so important. Like that's why for me, I just really want to let you guys know that you have to train your audience, your platform, to understand the best time to post for you, and you know, eventually you will get there. For a quick recap, we spoke about your followers, the platform that you're on, you know, thinking of human activity during those times, looking at your analytics, and really just understanding you and the best time to post for you that you can consistently be on. Yes, articles are amazing to read on this topic, but they're not the answer for you. You actually have to put in that work to figure it out yourself. So thank you for watching. I hope this was insightful and it was helpful. Comment down below, let me know, what time do you actually post? How did you figure it out? I would love to know your own way of figuring out the best time to post. Make sure to check us out on Instagram at WHIT INFLUENCE for more tips like this, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye. Yay. I'm done. Super exciting.